Hi, everybody. My name is Maddie Jones, and I'm the editor at Plus Model Magazine. And I am super, super, super excited to have our March cover girls, Darlene and Sandra, owners of the Blogger House Curvy Closet, here with us. Yay, I'm so excited to have you guys here. So let's get started. I want everyone to know about you. Please introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'll start first. My name is Sandra Negron, and I am a born and raised New Yorker. I'm a blogger, besides being an entrepreneur with Blogger House, and I focus my blogging on plus size style and fashion inspiration, and being a positive role model for women, other women like me.
Yes, I love that.
I'm Darlene, and I am also a blogger, content creator. I've been doing this for a long time, longer than I care to admit. I am a mom of two and a wife, and so my blog started off originally talking about career wear. My blog name is Suits, Heels, and Curves, but it has since transformed into more of a lifestyle blog, just speaking about everything that has to do with being, a woman in 2022, an entrepreneur, a mom, and all that good stuff in between. So, and Blogger House. This is Blogger House. So it is filmed here in our home, and that's a little bit about us.
Awesome. So you kind of already started to go into my next question. How have your personal brands evolved over the years? Because the landscape of being a blogger / influencer has changed a lot. So how have your personal brands changed over the years?
It's changed a lot, especially for me, because when I started blogging, I was single, no children, and I worked in corporate America. So it was a very different focus at the time. It was, and I also really, really loved writing. I still do, but unfortunately with two little ones, it's very, very hard to have even the 10 minutes or 15, 20 minutes to sit down and write an actual blog post. So I don't blog as often as I wish I could anymore. And I'm no longer in corporate America. We now run our own business. I am a mom. I'm going to soccer classes, dance classes. I'm taking care of a little baby who's spitting up all over me. So that career wear, those suits, those sharp suits, and those button-up shirts, yes.
That doesn't exist anymore.
That does not exist in my life, even though I still have a strong place in my heart for that kind of attire, but it cannot, right? My life has changed. And with that, it has evolved into a lot of different facets. So my goal has always been to help women feel empowered through everything that they do. And that's how really Blogger House evolved as well. And that is one of the biggest models that we have at Blogger House, is helping women feel empowered with beautiful plus size clothing that they can actually afford. And so I continued that model throughout my blog, even though it has changed dramatically, due to my lifestyle. So
I love that. That's fantastic. What about you, Sandra?
Yeah, for me, when I started my blog, it was a way for me to gain confidence. Like when I saw that there were other women out there that looked like me and that were doing all this fashion and, having so much confidence and getting dressed and not caring about anybody or what anybody thought, they fueled me to start my own blog to build my own confidence. So, because at that time, I definitely was not where I am now. And I have my own self-esteem issues, and I felt like the blog was an outlet for me to build my confidence. And as the years went on, it kind of did a 180, because now I have become an inspiration for people to be what I was before. They always get the question, how are you so confident? How do you do this? I mean, how you wear this? And I'm like, that's what I get most enjoyment out of now, because now I feel like I'm being, their inspiration to, get out of their shell and be more confident with their body and wear things that they probably would never wear because they see someone like me doing it. And, that's pretty much where I'm at now. Now, my main goal is to be an inspiration to other people to be able to do and feel great about what I'm doing. So that's
you do so well, and you do it so well.
Thank you.
You are at Blogger House. And for those that are not familiar with Blogger House Curvy Closet, please tell us about it. How did it start? Where did the idea come from? All the stuff. Please tell us.
So Blogger House is filmed at my house, our house. It's for a lot of people don't realize that Sandra and I both live here. So this is a 2-family house. Sandra lives downstairs. I live upstairs. And Blogger House has literally been in almost every room in this main floor at some point or another. If you go back to some of our older videos, we were in the sunroom at one point. Actually, we started off here, but on the other wall. And then we moved into the sunroom. And then we moved back here. And then we moved back there. And then we finally settled till we've been in this corner, I think, for like a good 2 years. I saw a video the other day.
Technically the dining room.
Yeah, this is technically the dining room of our house.
Yeah.
And so if you ever come over and we have no dining room, you know, understand why. We are here. And so Blogger House started here. It started on complete whim. One day I saw someone, I think it was when the like LuLaRoe craze was going on and they were selling like clothes. I saw someone selling like the LuLaRoe stuff on Facebook. And I was like, you know what? I wonder if I could sell my clothes. I wonder if someone would buy it. I'm like, who knows, right? So I gathered a bunch of clothes that like didn't fit me or whatever. Wasn't my aesthetic anymore. And I had like this big bin. I set myself up here in the living room on the other side, no ring light, no numbers, absolutely no organization, no thought process. Because in my mind, I was like, if I can get 1 or 2 people to buy something, that is great.
Yeah.
But did I think I was going to sell out on my first sale? Absolutely not. Like I was so shocked. And after I finished my first sale, I ran downstairs and I told Sandra, I was like, yeah. So I did a thing and I sold a bunch of clothes online and I sold everything. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I sold everything, like everything that I had pulled out and then some, because I had another like questionable bin and I sold that too. And she was like, no way. So on the second round, Sandra joined in.
I want in.
On the second round, she joined in. And then that's how this team started. And honestly, we were like, it was like a hobby at first. It was
a way for us to get rid of a little bit of our clothes. As we live in New York, we have very small closets and we were influencers. So we did get a lot of clothes from brands and it was a way for us to kind of, you know, purge our closets and make a little money at the same time.
And we would have it like, there was like no set schedule. Yeah. We always said Thursdays at 7, but it was never like every Thursday week, or every other week. It was like, hey, what do you think? You want to have a sale next week? Yeah, you know what? My closet's getting a little tight. Let's have a sale. All right, cool. We have a sale. All right, we'll have a sale next week. Like I mean, we didn't have numbers. Like we would write out numbers on paper or be like, the Eloquii red dress goes to, you know, so and so. Like that's
it was very like
it was
basic.
It was very grassroots.
Yes, that's like a nicer way to say it.
Go back to some of those videos.
Just my God,
look at them.
They're so bad. They're so scary. They're like how crazy they were. I mean, because we've had everything happen during a sale. We've had a hurricane whip through, knock down the camera. We've had the dogs knock down the cameras. We've had the kids knock down the camera. And that is part of the spark of Blogger House, right? This is like reality meets home shopping network. You get to shop, but you get to be a little bit into like our crazy lifestyle. And trust me, like when we first started, I was like, I want this to be like prim and proper and polished. And because one day we're gonna be at HSN and you know, and then I was like, like, that's not gonna happen.
First day we were like dogs barking. You know, we didn't have Michaela at the beginning, but it was just like the Murphy's Law, whatever, you know, can happen, did happen. And that's really why, you know, we are because it's like they're hanging out with their girlfriend.
Sometimes we just forget like that, you know, you guys can still hear us. Even if we're whispering, we're like,
I know, we're so like,
hear everything. You do hear everything.
And then I'm like, you know, they can still hear us, right? You're whispering for no reason. Like, shut up and don't say that on camera. Or afterwards, I'm like, girl, I'm like.
And at this point, we can never even try to go and be the perfect because the girls are like, no, we're not having it. We love you guys, crazy, you know, aloof, you know, ways that you guys are because it's real. It's like that's what they love most about it.
And that's the beauty about it. Like you really, and then as Blogger House evolved, we really wanted women to feel like you were shopping with like your bestie. Because as plus size women, we don't have those experience, right? We can't go back and be like, oh my God, when I used to go shopping with my best friend at so-and-so store. No, we didn't have those because we didn't have stores that had a whole clothes for us, you know? And even if we did, we weren't going to those stores shopping with our best friends because those weren't the cool stores. So we want our girls to feel, our squad to feel like we are those girls. You're here, we are community. We got your back. We're gonna shop. I'm gonna make sure you get some cute stuff. You know, there's girls helping other girls get items, bidding for each other, encouraging each other, supporting each other, giving each other accolades, and that's what we really want. We most importantly about everything, we just wanted women to feel like that great, amazing energy of what it feels like to be with great girlfriends in a shopping experience. And so Blogger House started, and then as it evolved, more and more people kept saying, wow, you guys have something, you know, and we love Blogger House. You guys have something, you should, you know, what are you guys going to do with it? And we were like, oh, I don't know. We're just kind of like, and then, you know, our beautiful Blogger House godmother, you.
I think that's like one of her other
I know, until you said.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm
jumping the gun. But
she didn't read the line outline.
I did, but I didn't see that one.
Go ahead, because I didn't know until I don't know at what point we talked about it that I was like one of the first people to ask you, because I was just like, I was trying to sell it on a platform, but I was like, who has the time?
No,
I just didn't have the time. I already did have, you know, Madison, and I was running behind and going to school or whatever. So I was like, I just don't have the time. I even tried to hire my friend Anna to do it for me, and she was in nursing school, and it was just still really, really hard. And I was just like,
that we experienced as well. That like we also tried at one point or thought about it. You know I did. I was like, oh, let me see what, you know, this online platform is like of selling like on a website. And I was like, wow, this takes a lot. I was like, this is a lot more work Blogger House is a ton of work. And I think people just sometimes don't realize it. And all the time we'll have people come to us, ask us what we, you know, charge to do a sale. And then they go off and they do their own sale. And then they come back and they say, wow, that's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But it was so much more work to do it on an online platform, like a website, that we just decided to stick to what we had. And a couple of people had asked us in the past, like, would you sell our stuff? And we just didn't know what to charge people because it's not a huge margin, right? Because we are selling clothes. We wanted to always keep clothes affordable. So that was number one. Would a consignor be willing to take less money for something that they could probably, you know, if they sold it on Poshmark or eBay or whatever the case is, they could probably get $50 for it, but we're selling it for 25 or even less at that point. When we first started, we're charging even less. So we were selling it for 25, and then they're going to get even less of that back into their pocket. Would anyone be willing to do this? In our minds, we're like, no one's going to agree to this. But people kind of started to understand that one, what we're doing is bigger than just the money you're bringing into your pocket, right? Like we're really trying to change, make an impact on the plus size community and on women in our own ways. So, you know, could they sell this for 50? Yes, but then they would have to ship it and pack it and promote it. And that's just one garment. We just sold 50 of your garments. You took home, I don't know, $500, $600, and it's out of your house. And you had to do nothing but sit there in your t-shirt and sweatpants and watch the sale. Like literally, maybe it took you a total of an hour of gathering your clothes and sending us some pictures. And now, a couple of weeks later, you got a $600 check or a $500 check, depending on what you were selling her. And so it was like, while it was not selling for what they possibly thought it could sell, maybe they could have made $1,000, $2,000 if they had sold themselves. It would be a much longer time frame. So we realized we had something, even though we thought that folks would not buy into it. And you were our first consigner, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm in it. I want to do this with you guys." And you know, we sat down and we're like, you think she'll do it for this amount? And
we were, we weren't as close to you as we are now. Yeah. So we definitely didn't want to.
And we have always had
the chance of, working with you and selling.
And we've always had so much respect for you, Maddie, because of everything that you do and the powerhouse that you are in the industry. And I was like, this is not someone we want to make an enemy out of. So I was like, but which I'm glad we had that common sense even back then when we didn't really even know you that well. Because knowing you now I'm definitely
not that bad.
But we came up with a figure that we felt was like fair to you and fair to our consignors and fair to us. And we proposed it and you were like, yeah.
It was like so easy.
And we were like, oh my God.
But you know why? Because I think that for me, because I went through it already and I had tried to sell it on my own, I realized if I did it on my own, I would not be able to do it on that scale. That many pieces all at the same time, the type of time, and then the shipping and everything. So it made sense. What you proposed made total sense because I had already went through it. So whenever I had people saying, does it really work? Do you think it's worth it? I'm like, absolutely. Do you want to sit there and take pictures of 50, 60 outfits or whatever? And the other part of it is that when you do it on another platform, you miss out on the community. And I want to make sure that people understand you guys have built such an amazing community of people. I kind of crashed your get together during CurvyCon, and I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm coming. It was so much fun to talk to your customers, and they adore you, they love you, they appreciate, just the tidbits, like you give them style inspiration. You could do it with this, you could pair it with this, things that just come so naturally to you, but sometimes doesn't come naturally to another person that's maybe not so fashion savvy. And here you are, your bestie online is telling you, you could put this belt and you could do this and you could pair it with this and layer and mix prints or whatever. And you guys talk so much about it. So your community is so beautiful. I love, love, love that part of the business as well.
Yeah, our squad is pretty bomb. They are like our number one reason. Yeah. Like our why as a business is them. And like sometimes I feel like we need to be like halfway like philanthropic and halfway like a regular business, because like we always say in our sale, it's not about the purchase. You can buy, like there's a lot of people doing our kind of sales now. There's tons of consignments and there's a lot of really popular plus size consignments. So yes, you can find that cute Eloquii dress at discount price in a lot of places. But our community, I mean, they're just so amazing.
Yeah,
like
I always think of like, I can't believe that we have, it shocks me every day that we have this amazing community. Like how did this have like two just regular old girls? And these girls are like loyal, like they are just the most amazing. And we could not like be blessed with more, amazing customers that we have. It just amazes me every day that they're just amazing people.
And the best part is that this is not like a click. There is no like, door, special door you have to open, or membership. You become a part of this community by just joining a sale. Like joining a sale, you don't even have to purchase.
No.
You could just sit in, comment, interact, be open to building a relationship and connecting with other women. And we've had women become best of friends. We've had women travel with each other through their interactions on Blogger House. I mean, it's just really, really remarkable, like how this one commonality of all of us just wanting to find beautiful, affordable, plus size clothing has unified all these incredible women from so many different walks of life, because we have the retired grandmother to the young college student, to the lawyer, to the teacher, like just so many different women from all over the country and sometimes even parts of the world, because we get a lot of international people asking us, will you ship international? And, unfortunately right now we're a team of two. So it's hard enough to do this job for the US and we can't open our doors yet internationally, but we will at some point. Because we want, our international ladies to feel the love and support that we have here as well through Blogger House.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's pivot a little bit and talk about the business side of it, because I love the community aspect. I love the journey. I really do believe how you guys met and how it started, and you selling your stuff out of your bin with no numbers. Girl, this is the journey you're supposed to be on. I mean, that's how you start. It was just organic how the whole thing happened. But as we all know, the business side of it is a lot different. So could you tell us a little bit about the business side? What have you learned in the past couple of years of business that you would want other people to know? Not necessarily that they're doing the same thing that you're doing, but look out for this. Think about this, Google this, find out about this. What did you learn?
We have learned some very hard business lessons, especially as women who don't have other entrepreneurs as mentors. You know, we did not grow up in a family of entrepreneurs. And I think sometimes, and I'll talk a little bit about like growing up as Latina women in like lower income communities in New York. One of the things that we would love to pass on to other younger Latina women in some situation is the knowledge that we've learned, right? Mm-hmm. Because we learned through trial by fire. We didn't know a lot of things. So again,
we were the guinea pigs.
Yeah,
and we were happy to be the guinea pigs so we can like at least pass on the lesson to others, you know.
But there was some hard lessons. So first things first. Oh my God. First things first is please file your LLC. Get your business bank account, get your business credit card, sit down, discuss roles and responsibilities. We are a partnership, and that was something that we had to do. Like, what is your role? What is my role, right? Because you never want to like, this doesn't belong to me. This doesn't belong to her. Even if I was the one, who did it first, doesn't matter. We decided it was a partnership. We are a partnership.
Even before that, just know who you're getting into business with too, because if the person, if you don't match with that person, maybe at the beginning things might work out, but then, going down the line, if you're not in the same mindset with the person that you're in business with, it's not gonna, there's no longevity there. You're gonna end up, not being together, and it's just gonna go to,
this is no different than like you're being married or your relationship with your parents.
Worse than being married.
This is, a relationship, like your partnership is a real like relationship that you're gonna have. Like, it's not always peachy keen. You're on a live, you'll see it. It's not always perfect.
We're like sisters. I'm like the older sister, and we fight. And we're both Scorpios. Like, we're both the same sign. We are both.
We're very different.
We're very different.
We're night and day.
Yeah, so.
And that's the thing. Look, let me tell you. One of my old bosses once told me, hire someone who is strong at what you're weak at. And that is what we are. Like, where I am weak, she is really strong. And where she is weak, I am really strong. So our partnership is 90% of the time, I would say it's seamless. Like, we don't really clash on a lot of things because like she lets me thrive where I'm going to thrive, and I let her thrive where she's going to thrive.
But the other 1%, we're just like,
there are times. And we live together. So there are times when she goes downstairs and I go upstairs, and we don't see each other for 24 hours. And then the crazy thing is that we come back like nothing ever happened.
And that's when you know that you have like.
Did you see that Mac drop that new makeup? Oh yeah, okay. Oh, let's go Sephora. Let's go Sephora. Let's do this.
Let's not forget that we just had like this whole like argument about whatever. Like, I didn't want to do this and you didn't want to do that. But as long as you have to, like I said, we have to remember that what is more important. Like, we'll have a fight, but besides our friendship, is more important than any other little fight. And we want to remain that way because, and we're at this point, we're more than friends, we're family at this point, so you have your family, and what's more important than your family. So you have to sometimes put aside those things that are not so, important to keep your friendship and to keep your business going. And it's going to be hard because, it's just the way it is. Nothing's perfect. So, we are very lucky that we, can be this way. This is
right here, like the biggest learning lesson in how to manage a relationship and understand, like, there are things that I know are soft spots for her, and I know that I have to approach them differently. Like, I can't just be like, let's go, and that's good because I am a gun-ho kind of person. So it helps me pump my brakes a little bit and think about them slowly. And there's sometimes that she'll say something and I'll go back and I'll think about it, and I was like, she might have had a point there. And then I'll rethink about like what I was presenting, and I come back and I'm like, I thought about what you said. What if we did this? This probably makes more sense, and same thing, vice versa. So it really helps both of us. In a relationship, it's so easy to be like, my way or the highway, whether it's with your business partner, your bestie, your mom, your husband, whatever. But that's not how it goes. You need to be able to collaborate and cooperate with each other and learn from each other and see like, all right, I know this is a spot for her. let me figure out how I'm going to approach this because I really want, I think this will be good. Mm-hmm. How do we get to this point? It doesn't mean like a perfect example. Sandra was working full time while I was working. I was not working full time. I decided to, a couple of years into Blogger House, I decided to stop working full time and I started to dedicate all my time to Blogger House. Sandra still had a full-time 9-to-5 job. And we had met with like some business experts and everyone kept saying like, Sandra, you really need to like consider going full-time with Blogger House because you guys are not going to be able to grow the way you want if one is being full-time and one is not. And, I knew in my heart, that's what I wanted her to do. But I also knew like, that's a huge ask to ask someone like that needs to come from you. Mm-hmm. And there was time that I kept plugging in my ear, and in my mind I thought like, if she can't go full time, like what is it that I am okay with as a business person, as an entrepreneur? What am I okay with if she can't go full time? But at the same time, we kept discussing it, and then life took a turn for Sandra. As she ended up, her job ended up downsizing. Mm-hmm. And that was like the make or break time, right? And I was like waiting in the corner like, oh, please let her go full time. I can't continue to do this by myself.
But, it like circles back to that. She said like, what lessons that you want, say that you would tell someone about, being an entrepreneur. The foundation, you have to have a strong foundation to be able to do anything else. So like our foundation is strong. So everything else kind of just comes into place. Like if you don't have that structure, that foundation for your business or to be an entrepreneur, whatever you're going to be doing, it's just not going to work out. And that's where it took us a little bit together, but now that we are in tune with each other, we've been doing it for a couple of years and we, our foundation is pretty strong and like the rest is kind of just like a little easy breezy at this point.
Also, big tip, it took us a while to really say that like this was our business. It was like that side hustle. No, baby. Depending on how much time, if you're spending a considerable amount of time on your side hustle, it is no longer your side hustle. It is your business. Own that. Mm-hmm. Be proud of that. Feel that in your heart and your soul. Because when you take ownership of something, that is when you can feel like, oh my God, I need to work so this doesn't fail. I need this to win. So because it's mine, it belongs to me. Right. So when we started saying Blogger House was ours, this is our business, and we presented ourselves as CEO and COO, then people were like, okay.
It's not just, something we're doing on a whim anymore. This is what is paying the bills. Like this is our business. Same thing you do. You go to work 9 to 5. This is what pays your bills. Well, this is what we do.
And it's a sustain
ourselves. Mm-hmm. This is our business.
And you work a lot harder. You see your mindset changes. You start understanding why, when I said at the very beginning, go file the LLC, get that bank account and all that stuff. You need to get your ducks in a row because those business issues, it doesn't matter. Let me tell you, I'm not a math person. I hate talking about math. I hate talking about business. My husband is a financial person. He had bugged us for way too long about filing for our LLC, and we had to learn the hard way that we should have filed a long, long time ago for it. So if anyone's watching this and your hustle has now become your business and you have an LLC, you don't have your bank things together, your financial, your core foundation, go do that. Go do that.
I want to dive a little bit deeper, but this is going to be the part 1 interview to our cover, because I feel like we still have a lot that I want to cover and I don't want to, go over too much, but this is part 1. Part 2, we're going to dive a little bit deeper because Sandra touched upon something that I want to talk about, when you leaving your job. How do you know when you're going from the side hustle to this is your job, this is your business? I want to talk about that. I want to talk about, leaving your job, that decision. And that is going to come in part 2 of this amazing cover interview. So stay tuned for cover 2. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will be back.
Bye.